So, Eulalie, we'd like to, so grateful that Eulalie is, she's doing the training today. And Eulalie, I'm going to pass this over to you.
Thank you very much, Cindy, and thanks for setting it up, because that was my nightmare. I was thinking, I'm not sure I know to do that.
No problem. I'm going to mute myself, and I guess if anybody else needs to be muted, it'd be good to mute and then just speak when unmute.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Great to have you all on tonight. Before we begin, I would like to open with a word of prayer. That helps me. Father, we come to you tonight in humble thanksgiving for all your many blessings bestowed in us all today. We ask you to bless every person on this call tonight and any others who may yet join. We thank you for giving us the opportunity to be business owners in your life. Bless our businesses, Father, and I ask for a special blessing this month, that you will help us achieve over and above what you allowed us to accomplish last month. Let this be a super successful month for everyone, Father. We invite your Holy Spirit into our meeting tonight. Fill us with wisdom and discernment. And as we share and exchange ideas, reveal to us what you're teaching us, showing us how to be successful in our business. Father, we thank you for all that you've done for us and all that you're doing. We give you all the glory and praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, ladies, welcome, Len. And tonight, our topic is, what are some of the challenges you face or are currently facing in your business? I know I face many, and I'm sure Lynn, being in the business for a long time, can also tell us many of the challenges she's faced. So, Lynn, I'm going to take this opportunity to ask you to start us off and tell us, what are some of the challenges over the years that you have experienced, that you have faced in the business? Can you hear me, Lynn?
Hey, I just came on and I had to turn around and go back. So you want me to share some challenges that I've had along the way?
Yeah.
Oh boy, okay. Well, I've invited people to come to see a meeting like we do, like one we'll do tonight. And I've invited them, they said yes. I've pre-called them, they said yes, and then they didn't show up.
Right.
So there's lots. You imagine after 37 years or something, that's like that. Yeah, that happens sometimes. So, you know.
Are you still experiencing that though?
Well, the two most recently that I've invited have not replied to my email.
Okay.
So these are people that I don't know, right? That I've met, and I've managed to tell them a little bit about myself and the business, and then ask them if they would be interested in taking a look. And you just have to be prepared for that. That
Yeah.
you know, maybe they said yes in the moment, and then they thought, I don't even know that person. I don't know. I'm not going to answer her. You know, I don't know what they're thinking. So that's a challenge, right? You got to have a challenge to have a mindset to be okay with that. What does it say? Some will, some won't. Next. Now that's so that's like in the beginning when you're just a new promoter, then you're talking to your warm market, and they're somebody might correct me if they think that's not true, but they can, because they don't have to trust you. They already trust you. You know, you're their in-law, whatever. So you've already set them up to at least to listen. You know, asking them if at least they would listen.
So that's what you're experiencing now, like with your warm market, that you find that they are still not responding?
My warm market?
Yeah.
I'm creating my warm market now, right? I've invited all my warm market after 37 years. So yeah, so now I'm creating a new warm market, and some people don't want to be warmed up. So you just have to,
That's very true, yes.
not get discouraged and just take it as practice. And they say now between, I forget the exact numbers, 5 and 15 at least touch points now. Used to be 3 back in the day. Now it's 15 touch point. They may not say yes until 15 times. So you just have to keep, what does Josh say? You just have to keep loving on them. Just keep loving on them and don't stop. And until they say, don't call me anymore, then maybe you'd stop. But,
Or they just don't answer the phone when you call anymore.
excuse me?
And that they just don't answer the phone when you call. If they recognize your number, then I find that that's what they do. Like once they recognize your number,
They don't pick up.
They don't
Well,
respond.
If they haven't picked up, how do you know they?
Well, if you leave a message, they don't return the call.
It's a challenge with, you have to make a friend first, not have to. It's advisable to spend a little time to get to know people before you start rushing and giving them all your whole lowdown on your new business, right?
Right.
I think that's really important that otherwise you might be disappointed when you didn't need to be disappointed, because you just
One of the things I've learned over the years is that attending different networking groups and involved in other organizations, one of the things that they've taught us is that you have to get 20 no's before you get 1 yes. So when I get 3 no's, I said, okay, I've only got 17 more to go. Because if that's the scale, then you know what? Okay, I'll just keep on going. Because the next one, and who knows, maybe I don't even get to 20, maybe I only get to 15. So there is hope yet. Pauline, would you like to share with us?
Well, I've been on it with Eulalie for around 10 months. Previously, about 22 years ago, when I was working with Eulalie at a hospital in Toronto, I did join, but then I found it difficult to be a promoter and work a full-time nurse. So I just quit. I took the products, but I wasn't working until I came back last year, September. Well, the 10 months that I've been with them since until now, I had many disappointments, many no's, but I just keep trudging along. When a person says to me, I'm not interested, I take my own vitamins. I just honestly thank them very much and have a good day and bye, Yeah. I do make return calls because last week, one of my friends in Toronto, she came on one of the presentations. She's breakfast back, but she never did. And I didn't hear from her until last week. I kept calling her and no response. Then emails, no response. But I did call her last week, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, and she responded. We spoke for an hour and a half. She did become a member and bought some products. So that worked for me.
Okay. So in other words, we can't always say because they've said no, we just wipe them off the list, because sometimes we do have to, well, first of all, we need to build a relationship. And
That's
then,
right.
You really have to, because especially if you don't know the person and you're doing it for the first time, it does take a while for them to figure out, for example, I had one last weekend and she was interested. She wanted to know more about the business. I did a one-on-one with her and Nada, and she was almost falling asleep during the one-on-one. And Nada is not a quiet, soft-spoken person, but she did admit at the end that she was really tired. We sent her all the information, I did a follow-up with her on, I think we did this on Friday. I did a follow-up with her on Monday, and I haven't heard back from her yet. So, but I'll give her a week. I'll give her another week, and then I'll follow up and see what she says.
One thing though, the challenge my husband and I face here, we just moved to Alberta last year, May. And
Uh-huh.
anybody here except our son. And that was the hardest thing for us. All of our members have come from Ontario or the USA, or has come from the USA. Because of COVID, we didn't get to go around and speak to people.
Right.
Speak to one person, and they hope to join soon, but not yet. So that's our challenge that we have here. We have to get people, but it's not easy. It's difficult because of COVID. We were just back because we don't know. That's the whole thing. But
right.
we're okay. We're fine. We're okay.
We'll get there. Okay.
Yeah.
When would you like to share this, please?
Yeah, so, well, I have a lot of, I get a lot of objections. Some are just as Lynn said, they actually don't respond. You know, we've got this expression, they're not responding to us. So they don't either answer an email, phone back if it's a telephone message left or a text message left. In my case, it's more often, you know, an email or text. So they just don't get back to you. And if you further go into it, they're still like, there's nothing happening. I don't have phone numbers for some people, so it's not like I can phone them and leave a phone message for everybody. So that is a problem. I've also had people say, no, I can't listen to, I don't do Zoom. So that's a big one. I live in an adult lifestyle community, so there are a lot of seniors here, and I'm not saying that seniors don't do Zoom, but a lot of them do not use technology. So that's an excuse for some of the people that I've met and talked about, you know, coming to, or they don't watch YouTube, so they don't want to look at the 5 key criteria, or they don't want to look at the solution or anything like that.
So how do you go about that then? If they're not, they don't do Zoom and they don't want to sort of,
well, if they
well,
don't,
they're not
then
gonna,
I certainly do offer them a YouTube because it's just a website page, right? So they don't have to go on Zoom. And as we know, our 5 key criteria and the solution, they're only 6 minutes long. So you can temper with that. And as we've been encouraged to do with the triple opt-in is you ask people if they would be open to watching something. And then if they say, oh yeah, they might, yeah, they'd be thinking about that. And then you try and get them to commit to a time and a day. That's where it all falls apart for me. There's no wanting to commit. You know, they're too busy right now. Somebody's coming over tomorrow. They have family coming on the weekend, or they're going to be seeing family on the weekend. There's all these roadblocks or excuses that come because of that.
the evidence that they're not on Zoom because, you know, they're seniors, they don't have Zoom, they're not interested. What are some of the other ways then that we can get them involved or get them interested, or at least get them to want to say, tell me more? What are some of the things you would do?
Well, what I've come to realize is another thing that Lynn has said, that we actually need to engage people so that they know us, because these are people who live in this community with me. We really haven't seen each other until the last 3 weeks, literally, when we've opened up and we're allowed to go out and play shuffleboard and bocce ball. So these are people I'm meeting that way. Before that, I was using lists of friends and contacting them either on Messenger or by email, depending on what I had from them, because I didn't have all of their particulars. They weren't necessarily close friends. Some of them were nurses that I used to work with. Some of them were nursing classmates. And so I had a whole plethora of people, so many people that I could choose from. But and I made the mistake of, it was a blind carbon copy, so they don't realize how many people there are, but I did send it out to larger groups at a time.
Right.
And was unpleasantly surprised when I got not even one response. I felt like I'd burned a bridge there when it came right down to it, that they They either thought, what's this all about? I'm not interested in that. So they don't respond because they were
Right.
not responders, all of them. And then you're left as the person who did that wondering what was wrong. Was it the way I wrote the letter, which could be? Was it the way that I sent the letter, which it could be? You know, you'll never know if you can't actually get them to respond to you.
Right.
So, I mean, I will go back to people on my list of their semi-warm, if not warm.
Mhm.
But for now, I'm meeting newer people out of doors, face to face, and trying to get to know them and discover what their concerns are about themselves or other people in their lives. And that takes time. People are not going to reveal that stuff to somebody they just played bocce ball with.
Right.
So it will take some time, but I can't think of any other way to do it. I've certainly, my neighbors I've seen regularly outside when I've been snow removal, gardening, and I have lived here for, well, for all of COVID, I've been living here pretty much full time. Prior to that, although I had my house here, I was spending half the time in Kingston, where I came from. So I know them. I know them. They know me. They know what I used to do because I would go to work from here. But most of them have shied away. Only one couple seemed receptive, and it turned out it was really only the female part of it. The gentleman wanted to talk to his cardiologist before he started on the medication, the
Right.
supplements, to make sure they didn't interfere with his medications. And I remember bringing that up at a meeting with Nada and Marielle and everybody. Said, what do you say to someone who says, you know, they want to talk to their cardiologist or their oncologist or all these people who are going to likely negate what you said? And they said, and Mary Ellen actually very pointedly said, can he eat food? Which of course he can. She said, well, he can eat food. There's nothing in most of these supplements. You will have to be careful with some of them, and the herbal ones are a little bit on a different scale. But basically, our foundation package is, I can't call it harmless, but harmless in a sense that there's nothing in it that you can't eat.
Right.
There's nothing in it that would hurt you. And there's wonderful things in it that will make a difference to your health at the cellular level, so that you will see some kind of improvement, I hope. But it's hard to I don't want to be in the position of having to convince people. I do find myself going to that path of trying to say to them, oh, well, what about this? Because this is what it is. This is, you know, what do you think of this? And, you know, you say something more, but it feels like you're trying to convince them, and they're not being convinced.
I think at some point you just sort of say to them, because I had a similar situation just a week and a half ago. A gentleman who he had back surgery. He's doing well, but he also, I don't know why he was visiting his doctor. Maybe it's as a follow-up, but it was a referral sent to me. So when I shared with him, I was trying to get him on the breakfast tab. And he said, his first words out of his mouth was, I can't take anything at all till I discuss with my doctor. And I said, well, why is that? She says, well, I cannot take anything from anybody. I must finish everything that she has given me. And I said, well, when will your medication finish? Not before the end of July. He said, okay. And I said, well, how's the medication working that you're giving me? I said, are you diabetic? Oh, no, I'm not diabetic. I'm a number 6. I'm fine. I'm great. I'm top of the world. And I said, well, what is the medication? Because if you're not diabetic and your back is great, you know, you're doing everything, what is the medication? I can't remember the name of it. It's quite a long name. But I said, okay, you know, let me check and see what it is, you know, what the side effects are. And right in the first line, it says, it's referred to patients or given to patients who are type 2 diabetic. And I thought, I wonder if he understood his doctor correctly, because he's an elderly gentleman. So I called him back and I said, are you aware of the fact that this medication you're taking is for that type 2 diabetics? He said, actually, she kind of mentioned something like that, yes. I said, well, if you're not diabetic, why are you taking? Well, she said I should take it. I said, but she's not doing it. That she's giving you something for telling you you're not diabetic, but she's also giving you a medication that's for type 2 diabetics. Why would you take it? Well, she said I shouldn't. And so I finally said, okay, maybe you should really find out from her, why you're taking it. Then it turned out that it's also given to persons with some of the illness, but also for type 2 diabetics.
That's
But
true. That's
his
true.
thing was he was not, and he said it, like she said, don't take anything else from anybody. And I guess he told his daughter the same thing, because when I was trying to say to him, find out from her why you're taking this, he said, well, maybe you should talk to my daughter. And when I called her the next day, she just spewed out the same thing. Oh, we know, but his doctor said he must not take anything at all from anybody. I said, okay, I quite understand, not a problem. I hope everything goes well with him, and I will talk with you some other time. All right? Okay, let's move on. Patience, what are your challenges?
My challenges is being homebound with COVID. That's a
Okay,
real challenge. So the people that, the phone numbers that I usually kept, like I never kept phone numbers of my coworkers.
mhm,
And when I meet with them now in the environment that I meet them with, I don't want to start bringing up personal business.
mhm,
So I'm waiting for the day when we'll be able to get out and socialize a bit.
right.
So the other people end up being relatives and longtime friends who are not here.
Mhm,
And some of them, it's just getting them to maybe let's sit for a Zoom, or let's watch a video and commit to watching it, or they don't have the time. And
mhm,
then the people at home, back home in Uganda, some of them, they're interested, but then internet can sometimes be quite difficult there. So, but I just keep persisting. So I usually go with somebody's need. If I know they have a particular need, that's where I usually go. Then they're the more willing to listen.
right.
And then I usually either give myself as an example,
Mhm,
or I actually, like for instance, this afternoon, I opened up my phone and there was a new post on New Life Healthy Living Community. I think Christine Bailey, she posted something about her daughter
mhm,
and her taking, I think she asthmatic, but as a side effect that from taking the Pro Vitality, that she had really bad nails. And after 6 months, her nails are so good. So I posted it, I shared it with some people, with a group that I'm in on WhatsApp.
mhm.
And somebody sent a message right away and said, I actually need that. That's what I need.
Oh,
Yeah. So I posted the pictures on Facebook about myself losing weight, and without mentioning a product, because one time Facebook got me in trouble and I posted the name of the products.
mhm,
And so I just said, well, this is me at this time, this is me at this time, and I'm using some wonderful products and doing some exercises. And I've got people writing to me, what did you use? What is helping your joints? And what? So then people call me and I tell them, and I end up telling them more about it. So that way, that's what I do,
good.
focusing on the need.
That's true. That's a good idea. Okay.
Eulalie,
Yeah,
may I speak again for a moment?
sure.
Thank you. I just want to, while Mansoura is on, because
Yes, she's gone.
yes, I see her. She's so I come to the first training and you get we're training on when you get objections. It's like, oh boy, okay. So
What happens?
I wanted to tell you, well, welcome you, and also I wanted to tell you that or to share with you and the rest everybody that Heather LaCroix and Mansour, you won't know her yet, but she's, you'll meet her because she's often at the trainings and does lots of great testimonies. And she's been over 25 years anyway with, I think maybe 28 years with the business. And I invited her. I didn't know her. She was a teacher in my son's school. I didn't know her, but she had, like I didn't know her personally, but she had really bad headaches. And one day I was volunteering in her, she's a teacher librarian in her library. And she said, I have to go lie down. I can't function. I have to hope it's going to go away or I'm going to have to go home. So a simple thing, right, was just headaches. Oh boy, where do you start with that? So I just suggested that she take vitamin B, that would be helpful for stress and headaches, and she went home. So then I saw her at the school after that and engaged with her, and I asked her if she'd come over to my house to do a one-on-one, and or catalog. We'd call it a catalog presentation. And she said, yes, she would. She'd like to hear more about it, right? Well, I'll tell you, I had 7 calls before she came. So you never know, what the person is going to, and she said, Lynn, I can't come. I have this headache. I said, well, that's why you need to come, because you have a headache. I want to, and yeah, so that's an example of so many touch points. And if I had given up on her, say, oh, well, she's just she doesn't really want to know. She doesn't want, if I had not.
Times too, it's when they say no, it means no, not now. It doesn't necessarily mean not ever. So we have to keep that in mind also.
Yes. So after 7 times she came, and she is one of my directors in my team.
There you go. So in other words, we never give up. We always
never give up. Never give up.
We always keep going. Sura, we're going to put you on the spot. Can you tell us, how did you feel when you were approached? You're muted, Mansoura.
Yeah, how did I feel when I was approached?
Yeah, because now somebody approached you. Who brought you on board?
It was very interesting. I met Nada on the Dufferin Business webinar, and we started. So she was one of the facilitators in the breakout rooms, and she discussed. And then from that, I shared where I come from, about Jude and everything, and the conversation just went around food. That okay, I like spicy food. I said, okay, it would be nice if you can come over. And I don't think I was really expecting or anticipating where this would lead. It was more based on my husband's health. I said that, okay, that he's had a bypass surgery 19, 20 years ago, and he has all these multiple issues that are coming up. And I think I don't believe in coincidence. I feel that when somebody comes in your life, and the way Nada and Leonie came over, and it was just a very open conversation. And little did I know that I would sign up as a promoter. So when we went to see her, and again, it's a lot with that openness, that not that I am going to jump into the deep ocean or something. And I don't know where all this is going to head to as well, but just to have that positive outlook, that okay, because not unless and until we have just tried the products now. So I think even in my conversation of relating it, that okay, we've been on these products for so many weeks and we see this difference. I think that itself would carry a lot of weight, because as of now, I'm relating to what others are saying. Right there, yeah, and I agree to the fact that okay, that it's 20 calls, like 20 rejections before you get one positive. And I think even in my field of work, I guess, it is something that I'm kind of acquainted to, that you know, what you're saying makes sense after a couple of years.
That's true.
And yeah, even when we're talking to the parents and you try to give them strategies, and at that time, you know, like, no, I mean, I appreciate that parents know their children the best. I truly respect that.
Right.
But that once they see you working with them, and literally like 2-3 years have gone by, and then the mom would phone that, okay, now I can understand what you were telling me 3 years ago.
And sometimes I think some of you may have experienced somebody coming back maybe a year later or 6 months later,
Mhm.
right? So yes, it's understandable. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you,
I'm still familiarizing. I haven't had a chance to go through all the booklets and all the information.
Right.
I feel that that is a little overwhelming for me just now,
Yes.
as to attending the meetings and this, and especially with my work as well. It's not that
Right.
this is my job. I like, there's a lot of preparation going on for my
It does
students.
take time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want to find that balance, as well as not get stressed out about it, but take it in my stride and take it gracefully though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so like I said, that I don't believe in coincidence. There's a reason. And it's interesting that I connected with my classmate after 50 years
Oh.
on Sunday. And so the one who gave me her contact sends me a message saying that, Mansoura, there is a reason that you have come in touch with this particular classmate in this particular week. So I sent her the invite for last Tuesday, and she was there. And I just briefly talked about it, and like the other said, you know, that I think she also is processing it, and I don't want to hammer it in, because I've just met her after like half a century. And although we connected immediately, but like probably there is greater good for her, I feel, through this, right? Maybe it's God's plan, that because she's a widow, and I feel that, who knows, maybe this is a great opening for her to have an extra income, where her daughter has just registered to become taking up medical school, which is not easy, you know, when you're just a single parent earning. So I'm really hopeful that not only that it's for our advantage, I hope that whoever that I'm getting in touch with, maybe there's a broader good, or there's a wider range of hope for them. And for that, I'll be happy.
Absolutely. Well, I'm happy about that. And if I hadn't said it before, welcome aboard. I look forward to working with you and helping. All of us are here to help you.
Thank you. Thank you. I just have one question for patients though. When you talked about Facebook, so we are not allowed to mention like Neolife per se?
You can mention it, but if there is indication of you being promoting or trying to sell it on your life, I think the one time they contacted me, I said I was using Neolife products and these are the results I was achieving. So they contacted me saying, this looks like you're trying to sell some health products and this is not allowed, or something like that. They must be, I had needed to get clearance from them. So I decided, okay, I will not do that again.
Right.
Once in a while, I can post a picture of a Neolife product without saying anything.
Because I have stepped into the social platforms just after, like it's just a month. So I'm not too familiar, even kind of maneuvering around Facebook and all that, Instagram, and I'm there, but it's still taking me a while just to find.
What I've learned about Facebook is I think they don't want you to promote stuff. Well, the health stuff that I think it gives us World Health Organization rules or something like that. But even to promote, to put a link that takes somebody else off Facebook, they don't want that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we have our own Facebook.
But on Facebook, there is a Facebook
You can
page where
use,
you can invite people,
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
not necessarily New Life members, but you can invite them and they can see what people see.
absolutely.
It's a
Mhm.
private,
The next.
private group. You have to get an invitation to it. You invite them to it.
Yes.
They have to be your friend first on Facebook.
Mhm. Thank you. Good to know.
Okay.
And thank you
Now, what are your challenges?
for your input as well.
Experience.
Challenges is I think like in order to convince a customer or clients, we have to take the product. So so I have few people like I advise, say now they are asking me about, today I met someone, they were asking me about high blood pressure and diabetes. I know about diabetes, but high blood pressure, I don't have it.
Right.
So I was struggling to answer a question, which I don't have it, but I said as a diabetes, you have to have a, like I told the certain product, like, you have to start up with the weight, like, protein shake and Pro Vitality pack and the glucose. I told them, but high blood pressure. So what are you going to talk about the high blood? So I was like a back up a little bit, and I said, why not? To be honest with you, I didn't have, so I have so many other issue in my life, and say now I had some cholesterol. Yes, I took some lipid, but so I think we need to have I think we have to talk to apply now, or I should know the real product, what will help the high blood pressure.
So one of the things you can go to wisdombuilder.com.
So I invited,
It outlines it, right. But you don't be concerned that you think you need to have every issue on your belt, in the sense that you don't necessarily have to have high blood pressure and diabetes and whatever else in order to share it with a customer. I think just knowing what the product offers, if you know it's high blood pressure, and you know garlic is and salmon oil, you can tell them the benefits of those products. And more than likely, somebody in the group may know someone else, or you can simply say, we have had testimonials from many people who have experienced this. You don't have to give a name, but just by saying, because the products work, we do have testimonials.
I did tell that. I said, I told her that to be honest with you, because I need to be honest. So to be honest with you, I didn't go through this situation. However, there are many testimonies.
Yeah.
And definitely I can show you, I can definitely send it to you, or I can invite you. So she asked me to invite her. So I may invite her next Tuesday for health, for the meetings. So I'll see that.
And one of the other things too, if you have the New Life app, you can send her from your phone. You can look up high blood pressure. You can look up the garlic and salmon oil and send it to her. So she gets it on her phone. She gets it right away. And as soon as they open it, you get a notice that they've opened it. So even if the next day, you can always say, have you had a chance to look at the information I sent you? She can't say no, because you've already gotten a tag to say.
I think I had the experience earlier. I sent something and I got the email from them or something, they opened it. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I'm a little bit behind. You guys are forward, I think.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Everybody moves at their own pace.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter when you came in. Everybody moves at their own pace. right?
Yeah. So
You're not behind or ahead or on the same level. We are all working at our own pace. Some people may have tons of friends and others may have a few, but it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of reaching out, sharing, building up a relationship with individuals and letting them know how the business works,
mhm.
right? Okay,
Eulalie, can I say something?
sorry, yes,
you so
sure.
much.
The
Yes,
breakfast pack lays the foundation, it helps to heal the body. So actually, if everything, you can always offer the breakfast pack.
I did.
Also, it helps with blood pressure as well in a small way.
Yeah,
Not
I
really.
know that. Yeah,
Breakfast pack is the key
very
to.
important. Yeah, I did tell them. I did tell, but like, you know, I was a little bit of you know, I was not in a mood, first of all, while someone I faced one-on-one. And so I was feeling, but I said, okay, let me send you some information. And I just told her I had to come to the meeting and you will learn more about everything. And so it went very well. Not, I didn't lose her, but in a way, we need to learn each and every product quick to answer. And to be honest with you, if I have the problem, say now I have a problem, okay, I gain weight. So I know that what to use that, okay, weight loss program or Pro Vitality Pack and the tea bag. And you know what, it's happened to me quickly. I can start to tell, oh, migraine headache, I know what to do. CoQ10, Salmon Oil Plus, Pro Vitality Pack. And I just, like, you know, I take 6 Salmon Oil Plus because I want to keep up avoid my migraine headache. So like that, we should know. But in the meantime,
But you shouldn't be if I can interject, you shouldn't be expected. Nobody's expecting you or any of us to have high blood pressure, and diabetes, and fibromyalgia, and all of these illnesses, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
don't let that scare you away. Rather, and we can't know everything about all the products.
I know.
So you can also, I don't know when you started, but you can also I'm still learning about the products. However, I can send you a brochure on it and let me know when you have reviewed it. And then you and I can talk, right? We can spend about 10, 15 minutes and we'll discuss it. That way, you're sharing it with her because you don't have to, she may not have the time or you may not have the time to explain everything about garlic or fiber or you know, the protein shake and this and that. The main thing is to get them the information. So I think once you simply say to her, we do have a product that can help you. And is it okay if I send you the brochure on your phone?
Yeah,
I
did few information, and we'll see how it works. And also definitely if I invite her to the meeting, maybe she might.
Right. And that's the next step. Excellent. Tyson, are you on? She was?
She just went off.
Okay. All right, Cindy, here you've joined us. We're just talking about challenges that we face in our business. You've been around for a while. You've been in this business for a number of years. Can you share some of your experiences that you have had? You're on mute.
Thank you. Yeah, challenges. One thing is to try, and I have to admit, lately I haven't been as good at following up and being consistent because sometimes life gets in the way, right? So if life gets in the way, and it's always better, you know, if you can't spend a couple hours a night or whatever, do a power hour or so. But I really find that it does help you to do that. But also too, yeah, people who are skeptical. I was skeptical, right? So I do have patience for people and persistence. I think I caught the bit of, I think it was Lynn was saying, you keep going until someone says, don't call me again, sort of thing, right? Which, you know, there's people who say, no, I'm really not interested. And you can still come back even with, okay, I understand this might, or, you know, like they might say like, you know, it's really not a good time. I'm really busy. Just ask them, can I keep in touch with you? Can I call you in a couple of months or, you know, whatever? Yeah, and there are times when you just have to let someone go, right? But I have, I think my longest for, I think it's been 3 or 4 years that I was building a relationship with people, right? And then finally, like, you know, it was just the right timing for them. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Sometimes it does take longer with others. And I had one that I've been talking to for about 6 months. And yes, I'll call you. Yes, I'll call you. Yes, I'll call you. And, you know, you give them 2 weeks and you call back. And then out of the blue, oh, so can we get this thing done? Sure, why not? Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
So you never know. Their timing is not ours. Ours is not theirs.
Exactly.
And simply just take it one day. And when they say no, it's not a reflection on us. It's just that they have a lot of stuff going on in their lives also. And we don't know what they're going through. So sometimes you just have to back off and say, okay, I'll leave that for a while, go on to the next. So one of the things I'm sure you all do, I know I do it, I make my list, and I now have a book with contact names. So all of my bits and pieces of paper, they're going into the names on that, they're going into my book so I can keep following up. And if I haven't heard from them or they actually said, you know what, I'm not interested, just cross them off the list and move on.
But Eulalie, some people, I understand, not I understand. According to me, some people don't like to force them too much.
They don't like to
force them. That means, oh, are you going to sign up? Or are you going to get the Pro Vitality pack and try? Some people don't like that. Some people said, okay, when we call them or when we follow up with them, they may not like, so I don't go completely, I stop them. It's me.
But it also depends on how you present to them as well, because let's use that example. You sent the lady the information, you sent it from the app. You may send her the garlic and salmon oil and maybe the Pro Vitality. You know that she's received it because the system gives you
update,
a notice.
Yeah.
Give her a couple of days and then just call and say, just wondered if you had a chance to look at any of the information I sent you. If she says yes, you said, do you have any questions? If she says, yeah, I'd like to know more, then you can do a catalog show with her. If like me, when I'm not ready to do it, I said, do you mind if I ask my upline, my manager, to come on the phone with me to do a Zoom call with you and do a one-on-one? Sure, that's okay. And then I'll make arrangements with Nad and get the personnel, right? You don't have to sort of, you should not be concerned about pressuring them, because if you do that, that's when they back off, right? Let it be a fluid situation so that ask them, what did they think of it? What questions did they have? Do they need to know any more? Can do they have some time, 15 minutes, half an hour? You can talk to them on the phone and explain some more and answer their questions and then take it from there. If after that they said, you know what, I'm still not ready, I'll get back to you. Give them some space, maybe a week, and then you follow up and say, okay, I just wanted to follow up. Have you had a chance to? Last year, I know I talked with a lady, her husband in the States, her husband died, literally dropped dead. I happened to have seen it, and this was a crazy thing that I did. I happened to have seen it on the TV. And I thought, that lady needs help. She said, I don't have a job. I've never worked. My husband did everything. We have 7 kids. What am I going to? She was literally pulling at her head. So I found a way to get in touch with her. I eventually did. The long and short of it is that it took me about 3 months to finally catch up with her. When we did a one-on-one with Nada. She was ready. She was excited. She liked the products. Something about her told me that she may not, because right at the very end, she said, okay, yes, I'll go ahead. I'll get the breakfast pack and I'll get something else. She said, let me get my wallet. And then she came, oh, my daughter took my Visa card. I don't have it. She sometimes takes. So that I said, okay, well, let me know. Give me a call tomorrow. It took her a week. I still didn't hear from her. I followed up with her. And then she said she was not ready at that time. I mean, I still haven't signed her up, and she still said she likes the product. She liked what she heard. I'm just giving her some time. So it's about 3 months now since I've talked to her. I'll give her another
And
2
you're-
months.
You're building a relationship up with her, right? So that eventually, and ladies, I hate to cut this
Oh, it's
short
7:50,
now
yes.
but I have to get on the 8 o'clock call. I'm
Yes,
sure
you
you
do.
Yeah,
all do
it's,
too.
thank you so much, Eulalie. I really
Thank
appreciate
you very much,
Thank
everybody.
you.
so much for
Great.
everybody, you know,
Thank you.
great,
Wow.
like, you know, it's we
Thank you to all of you.
and
Thank
we
you so
overcame a few
much.
things. Thank you, Eulalie. I really
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thanks, Eulalie.
Unfortunately, we missed Hyacinth. She was on, but I guess she had to leave. So, okay. Thank you.
Appreciate. Thank you very much.
You're
Bye,
welcome.
everyone. See you later.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.